Rozycheek, the perfect loser. Prince Pessimistic was the youngest son of Cornelius Edgar Obnoxious, CEO for short, the king of lots. All pessimistic plans were always a last resort, which came as no surprise because he was CEO's last son. We also should mention that he wasn't his favorite son. Once CEO signed him, he was forgotten till all hope runs dry. People usually don't like to think about the worst-case scenario. Prince Pessimistic got used to being satisfied with less attention, less budget, less promotion, less fun. He was gloomy, grey, dry, and very thin. His personal interests were circulating with the one big idea of his life: how to cut the expenses of everything. It should come as no surprise that the people of Lost didn't like him at all. His last project was to limit the kingdom's spendings on internal distribution of produced products. He was told that now all people in kingdom could have any kind of drug or personal care product with a huge discount. Outrageous! Prince Pessimistic thought that decreasing these discounts for internal affairs would create extra budget to save for non-profitable years in the case of wars, hunger, and top managers' bonuses. And how he thought those problems would happen really soon. All signs of the coming disaster were chasing him. Literally everywhere he walked, people stopped working and would run away as if he was cursed. Decorative and beautiful flowers would turn into simple vegetables in his presence. Once he touched a rose, and it turned into a beet. Prince Pessimistic took it as a real threat for the kingdom he loved and lived in. But what would he do? CEO noticed his son's depression and decided that the time had come. It was the time to marry for the youngest prince. At least all Pessimistic's efforts for Lot's economy would be applied to another project, at least for a while. CEO knew that there was a kingdom nearby, where the nicest and most pleasant princess lived. Her name was Princess Rozycheek. She was so nice and pleasant that everybody liked her. Princess Rozycheek was beautiful. Everything she did, thought, and said was perfect. Any project she did was successful from the first try. CEO decided to give it a try. He outfitted Prince Pessimistic and sent him to another kingdom. The prince was used to doing whatever his CEO told him to do, so there were no protests from his side. Prince traveled for 3 days and nights. He didn't eat or sleep at all. He believed that he would meet the most perfect and nice person in the whole world. By the end of his journey, the prince was so tired that once he came into capital, he ejaculated, "Show me the most beautiful and nice princess in the whole world!" and fell off his horse. There was only one person to meet him there. The Out Kingdom cleaning lady from the south took his hand and led him to the castle. It seems that all capital citizens were there. It was crowded, but Prince Pessimistic could hear the voice. The crowd was silent as a woman's voice was singing. She sang a song about a beautiful world, valleys, rivers, clouds, and this kingdom. It was clear that she was improvising. Nevertheless, the crowd was charmed by her beautiful voice and pleasant words. Everybody smiled with such innocent expressions on their faces, as if they found the real reason to live, or saw a god president with their own eyes. The prince made his way to the epicenter of the sound. There was a beautiful woman singing. She had a real rare mix of pale skin and red hair. Her eyes were sky blue, fluffy eyelashes flitted. Because of the great passion she put in singing, her cheeks were rosy red. She made the last perfect note and fell silent. The crowd erupted with thunderous applause. The applause seemed to last for eternity, as Prince thought. But he was waiting patiently. He had one question that should be asked at this particular moment. Finally, he saw his fairy princess, and he needed to say these words. Silence took its place and the prince spoke. "I traveled for 3 days and nights from Lot's kingdom to see this?" He pointed at the princess. "I'm hugely disappointed. The real perfect princess would not waste time in the company of her lieges. I'm not impressed at all." After saying these words, Prince Pessimistic had a blackout. Later, on the next morning, he found himself in the bright white bedroom with Princess sitting next to his bed. "Dear Prince, I was told that you came here to ask me to marry you. I'm so upset I disappointed you from the very first sight. What can I do to make you like me?" she asked. "Princess, I have a list of perfect parameters that my bride should have to become a perfect and nice wife for me." Prince Pessimistic gave her a list and left immediately. He didn't want to spend a minute longer with such disappointing person. A month went by since Prince Pessimistic saw Princess Rozycheek, until one gloomy rainy morning, when a grey and thin lady came into Lot's. She passed Magic Herb Hills, Witches Department, New Sales Village, and approached the kingdom's castle where CEO lived with his 2 sons. Don't forget that the eldest son, Optimistic, was on a quest of killing all kinds of monsters. The grey lady knocked on the door. It just so happened to be that Prince Pessimistic was nearby to welcome stranger. "Hello, Prince! It's me, Princess Rozycheek," said grey lady. Prince didn't say a word. He was just looking suspiciously on the unfamiliar lady who claimed to be Princess Rozycheek. This lady looked nothing like the Rozycheek he saw before. "Look, this is the list of parameters that your wife should possess. You gave it to Princess Rozycheek when you visited her kingdom." She waved old list of parameters which had many red marks. "I am Princess Rozycheek. I looked through your list very carefully and followed each letter. I have changed myself to become ideal person you want. There is nothing of former princess in me, only the parameters that you like." Prince squinted. "Prince, I did everything you asked. Nobody recognizes me in my own kingdom. They say I am not the princess they loved. I did it to make you love me. I couldn't live a day longer in the world if somebody didn't think that I am a perfect princess. Now, when everybody turned away from me, you are the only one who will love me." "I don't," the prince said dryly and slammed the front door. This day, Princess Rozycheek learned a bitter lesson. She cried for a year before she found her true self again. And Lot's CEO, together with all kingdom citizens, still have to endure a pessimistic prince with all his one-vector selfless attention to Lot's economy.